12 of my zippers cut out to do my flamingo pouch. Okay, I cut it just a little bit shorter than what this is. I cut it just a little bit. It's a little shorter because I want to have something on the end of this here, because I actually don't like the way it does what it does when you sew them up in the material. So I'm trying something new, and what I plan on putting on the end is this, which is my 1/2 inch double folded bias tape. You can, I'm gonna have to sew my zippers on here, sew them on each end. So that's another step I added to myself, but it's the way I want my pouches to look. So okay, we're gonna move over to the sewing machine. Okay, I'm not sure if this is gonna be like a good view, but this is what I'm doing. Alright, I could put this somewhere else, but I'm gonna keep it right here. Okay, and what I'm doing is I'm opening the bias tape up, and I'm sliding my zipper on the inside right up against it and sewing, back stitching as soon as I get on it, sew it over, back stitch coming, if it let me, coming off of it. Okay, and that's how I'm getting this done on here. So I'm not sure if this is helping or not. Okay, get this. Let's sure see. I might have to scooch you on back because I think the shaking of my machine. So y'all see how it looks as it's being sewed on. Okay. And I don't know if anybody tried it this way and say, hey, that is not gonna work, or I know it takes a little longer because I'm trying to make sure I get it done here. Okay, it's probably going to take a little longer, but at this. And so far it's coming off. It may take me a little while to get it done, but it's getting on here. get my stuff to look like I want it to look, to where I'm proud of it, as you can say, to where I'm proud of it. Let's get you in here, because I now have to do the other side. Okay, and let's see, I think I might want to cut this apart, which will probably make it easier for me. Cut it apart, and I'll trim it up a little bit. Then this may be something I may just keep that instead of trimming it all the way up to the, I may do that when I get it into the pouch. So I've trimmed them, cut them apart, and now I have to sew this end. And so I still have that part up underneath, which will keep me from bird nesting. Okay. right, y'all. First time ever doing it this way. Let's see how it works out for me. Okay. And we roll this up. Put on my shelf over there. Okay, y'all. All right. Oh, let me grab this under the bottom. It's actually this one. So what I can do here is just to make sure I am getting my zippers in the right spot is I can clip. Okay. There. And then make sure I got this folded in half. Okay. Get it clipped. I don't do much. It's little. You can see the little. It's just a little indentation. Just a little indentation there. And also a little indentation here. Okay. Sometimes I might do the second side, but I think what I can do is I'll do this, and I will try to make sure I'm going to use a clip here to make sure it stays in place because they slip. And something I might also do is I might switch to my tabletop because there's a zipper foot on it and it gets closer. So let me see how this turns out. Then I might switch to my tabletop. Okay, now that's there. And then I don't need to center this. I try to make it go from end to end on here. Okay. So here, got this done. And let's see how this works out for me. Okay. Let me get this here, and I see how close I can get this to be without having to switch to my let's go down because I want to lift my foot up, put my zipper there. So then get this going here. See how it works out. Tag, tag. All right, let me. Okay. All right. It did pretty good. I think it did. I think it did pretty good. Okay. Now, you can cut this now or you can cut it later. Sometimes, like I said, that little part of me kicks in and takes over. Okay. So I can like flip this over and my zipper and fold this down, fold this down. And what I can do here now is I'm gonna top stitch. I want to top stitch, okay? And I really don't have to back stitch because that's gonna get caught up when I sew. I don't have to, but sometimes I get in the habit of doing it, and then I'll do it anyway on some ends. Okay. And all right, so there is my top stitch. Not sure if you're able to see it. My top stitch, maybe not, but it's there. Okay. Which is there too as well. Maybe you see a little bit better here, my top stitch here. So now I'm going to do the other side, and sometimes you got this side done, and then you can just go ahead and I was looking at how my flamingos were going. Sorry about that. All right, you can get this, set up to where you can have it even. Your things can be even, and then you can attach. You want to get this up to the edge of. Get this clipped on. So now we know it's in the center because you already put the other one on. So now we get this on. We know it's center because it's already, the other one's already attached. So we're basically matching them up with the other side. And as I said to y'all, I am not a teacher. I'm just showing you what I do. So please don't look at this as a tutorial. I'm just showing you what I do because I'm nobody's teacher. I'm not a teacher. I am not a teacher. Disclaimer, I can say over and over again, I am not a teacher. I'm showing you how I do it. Now, if you decide to do it my way and it works out, congratulations. Woo. And you're better than me. Okay. All right, so get that going. Get this on here. Back tack. Okay. And let me cut this loose. Okay. Now I'm just doing this one, but what I will do is I will batch sew these, and I'll batch sew certain parts, at a time, like I did my zippers. But I just wanted to see how this will work out the way I did my zipper. Okay. On the way that I did my zipper. Got that little end I'm gonna cut, y'all. Okay. All right. Here we go. And so I want to top stitch, so I know I have to fold this over. And come on, lay that way. So now I have to fold this over and fold it down. Okay. And sometimes your lining may end up off or over, but as long as it's not too bad, you should be okay. Okay. And if you're not wanting to go too far, you can clip and hold it in place. Okay. Get this out of my way. And I didn't have to, but kind of a habit, which is good to have. Like I said, I didn't have to backstitch, but sometimes it's a good habit to have. Cut this off. And I can sew that on. And this right there, this, which I should have been doing it, kind of keeps you from using up so much of your thread. Okay. So now that I got both sides, where I've top stitched. Okay. So what I have been doing on some of my pouches is I have been putting them together like this. Okay. I have been putting them together like this, y'all. And then I have been sewing them down. And then sometimes I've done this here and sewed it, and then you know, I sewed it, sewed this side up, turned it in, and sewed the bottom. And I kind of actually like the way it looks when you sew them down like this. You know, anybody turn them. I was going to put the double-sided bias tape to where I got this covered, and when I did it, it didn't look as bad as I thought it was going to look when I didn't put it on there. So it wasn't bad looking on the inside when I did that. Okay, so I can do one like that to where I sew it like this, and then also I can do one to where, let's see, to where I have it to where I sew it like this, you know, the way we normally sew it like this, and then flip it inside out. Okay, I kind of like the way it looks, and then it doesn't take me as long to sew it up, because then I don't have to turn it and then pull this out and sew that up. Once I get through sewing it the other way, I'm through. But I want y'all to see what I'm saying. And what I'll do is I'll start here, go around, and I'll finish. Or, go around and you finish. So what I can do is make sure I put this together. And that's another thing, you want to make sure. And I already know where I'm going to put it at. So, and they're pretty much even. Is what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to get it out of my mouth, and for some reason it's not want to come out right. Okay. I can't say tongue tied. It's like my brain going on a fart and my mouth moving too fast. Okay. All right. So what I can do here is I'll keep that out of my way. And I've put this part of the zipper right up against my foot. So it's giving me a guide on this side on how far I'm going to come over so it doesn't look so bad. And I'm going to keep it lined up like that as I'm watching so that I don't go over, because I also have tape on this side. Okay. And I can do this. All right, and come around. And what I want to do is, let me back up and come back here. I had to pick it up just a little bit because I didn't want to be that far down and then turn around and miss the inside. So come here. Okay. And let me cut this. So I want to make sure, let me back it up. Just go off and back it up, because I want to make sure I come up against this. Make sure I want to get up like I got up on this side. I want to make sure I get it on the other side as well. So I've got my zipper up against this as far as it'll go. Okay. And I'm going to back stitch. Okay. And okay. And I can just throw that there. Okay, this here. Cut this thread. All right, now I didn't use my little stopper, y'all. I got so excited because I got it done. So what I can do, because I know sometimes I like to get it to where it looks kind of even, as you want to say, especially different, parts. It's not even. I like to make sure I can get this, cut off any excess that's not needed, that won't have so much bulk in it. But I back tack here, I back tack there, and I back tack here. Okay. And another good thing that I've done is my zipper's here. So all I had to do is do this here. I didn't have to reach inside and open up anything. And now all I have to do is flip it. Now, the only thing that's probably going to rack my nerves is the fact that, hold on, y'all, let me do something here. Okay. I kind of told her the untruths on this, because I looked at that and tell you didn't backtack that, girl. Why you tell that untruths? Okay. So I had to correct my little untruths I told. And I might end up putting maybe bias tape down this side and this side. It varies. I might, depending on how it looks when I flip it over. Okay. Let's see how this works, people. Let's see what little extra step I may add in there, because we find something when we're trying something new and they add a little extra step in it. Okay. Let me do this other one here. Okay. All right, let's go. Do you like this? All right. Let's get all these little things. We kind of like our stuff poked out like it's supposed to be poked out. Okay. And I do have something I can poke up in here. Get it poked out like I really want. Okay. Now, this is the moment of. And y'all, it's not bad. It's actually not that bad. Okay. It's really not that bad. Actually not that bad on the inside either. I mean, it shows a thing. And then if I wanted to, I could serge it. And it'll have a finished edge on the inside and not a raw edge. It'll just have a finished edge on the inside. Okay. But I can tell you one thing I did forget to do on this. And that's, I forgot to put my tab in here. So I'm going to have to flip it back out because I'm going to have to open up this side, put my tab in it so that I could hook it to a wristlet. You know what I'm saying? And then you could just put it in your purse like this. You know what I'm saying? This could be cute. But I think I want a tab in here. I want a tab over here. So I don't know. Am I going to put it up there? Or am I going to put it down here? So I might end up, it's going to be closer probably up here than anything. So that means I need to turn this back out and put the tab in. Okay, y'all. Got it on, which didn't take me long. But I did notice that what I am going to do is I am going to finish the inside on my serger. So it will have that finished look on the inside instead of adding bias tape, because it's going to be a little more expensive with this because I have to add more material that I don't have enough of, and I use that to make my tabs as well. So my roll is not that big. So I think the best thing for me to do is to use my serger to finish the inside. After I get all this done, excuse me, I'll finish the inside with my serger after I put my tab in. I won't forget that this time. But y'all, this is one of my little pouches.